I had just graduated college and I had about $70K in student loans, a couple collections, ain't pay no phone bills back in the day. And literally from that day on, I took credit serious. And it just got to that point to where I was like, okay, this is actually bigger than what the eyes can see.
Do you recommend someone start a credit repair company in 2025?
I'm not saying I won't recommend you, but if you do, push it more towards a model.
What is the CFPB?
They're the government's watchdog. Those three companies ain't got nothing to do with the government. Their only job is to...
If you was coaching an 18-year-old, how would you tell them to start building their credit the right way?
Number one, go open up a account. After they...
What are some starter cards you like? The first 3 cards somebody can get.
Stay away from Tomo Boost, Credit One, Self, and Credit Strong and all of that. Go get a Discovery Chase. Go get a card. They gon' definitely make that building process easy for you.
How should someone build a relationship with American Express, with Navy Fed, with Chase? Once your client get business funded, what do you recommend they do next?
The last thing I want you to do is...
If I told you, hey man, I can help you make 200 grand in a month, but you gotta work 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you never get to see your family and friends. Some of you guys not willing to make that bet, and right now, you don't have to make that bet. Hey, we got AI.
Come on, man.
What are some of your favorite banks for business funding?
This way, everybody needs to hit.
Hey, Will, I got some questions here, man, that I whipped up that I want to know a little bit about this credit game.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it.
Come on with it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your whole journey in this whole credit industry.
My journey in the credit industry, well, it started way back in probably around 2016 with you, actually. One day you was like, hey man, I stumbled upon this thing called credit that ain't nobody ever teach us shit about. And you was like, bro, give me all your information, man. I think I can, do some things. I ain't know nothing about credit at the time. And I'm like, okay, what you need? My ID, social, cool, whatever. I gotta go to work, man. What you need?
Yeah.
So I handed you all my info. And it was funny about, 2 weeks later, you was like, hey bro, look at this. And, I had just graduated college and I had about $70K in student loans. I didn't know anything about my credit report, but I had a couple collections, I ain't pay no phone bills back in the day. And, all this and that. And you was just like, hey, your credit went from a 470 to a 750. I'll never forget it, ever. It was November of 2016. And from that day on, literally from that day on, I took credit serious. I took it serious. And, I didn't jump into entrepreneurship until January of 2020, right before the pandemic. But for those 3 years prior, I was definitely studying credit and even, helping family and friends, fix their credit and just learning a lot from you. And it just got to that point to where I was like, okay, this is actually bigger than what the eyes can see. You know what I'm saying? We hear that word credit and we're just like, oh, you can go get approved for a house, a car. This. No. The fact that we're allowed to use credit and leverage it for our financial needs is probably one of the biggest life hacks that we got out there. And once I realized that, it's when I took it serious. And, I created my own company. I partnered with you. And, we took the credit game and, provided credit repair for the country. And then, we took it to the next level. It's like, hey, don't just get your credit repaired, leverage this into some business funding. Start using it to get active in your business or a business that you want to do. And then we even took that a step further and, turned the credit game into a system with what we got now at CJU Systems, with, systems and automations and showing people how to just streamline all of those services for the masses.
So what do you think about credit repair in 2025 and where do you think it's headed?
Woo!
Where do you think the game is now?
Man, so credit repair in 2025. So with what's going on with the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and how they're cracking down on the credit bureaus and lenders and banks, and also how, AI is starting to play a big role in, the credit repair process and, for credit repair companies. I think that, it's not how it used to be. Simple, sending out dispute letters and regular templates, typing up regular templates and just sending them out to the credit bureaus, hoping things fall off. We're getting out of that game quick. Like, that is not working anymore because those credit bureaus are trying to keep up themselves. The Oscar system is learning. Like, that's AI too. It's learning more and more as we advance. So in 2025, like, if you're not keeping up with the times of leveraging AI into a credit repair company and knowing that the laws are playing more of a part into getting results. When I say the laws, I'm talking like consumer laws. Mm-hmm. If you're not staying up to date with that, then stay away from it because it's not as easy as it used to be. You used to just really be able to go and find some templates that worked, some generic credit repair templates for whatever it may be, collections, charge-offs, identity theft. And you'll send those in, do a couple rounds, and you'll get some results. That is not the case anymore. So, the game is definitely evolving. And if you're not evolving with it, stay away from it. But if you're going to dive headfirst into it, then it's very lucrative and results driven. You really can help some people and make a lot of money in this.
Yeah, that goes into my next question. Like, do you recommend someone start a credit repair company in 2025, or do you think people just need to get the credit repair game and just, take care of themselves and just like their family type shit, don't start a business?
So, as far as my recommendations for a credit repair company in 2025, I don't think it's a bad idea to do it, but if you're going to start a credit repair company in 2025, I think that you should push it more towards a DIY model, which is do it yourself. Give the game out about how to properly structure the credit repair process for a person, like as if you were doing it for yourself, and walk them through exactly what to do as if it was you trying to repair your own credit and get these things off. And I think that you should sell the game that way because right now, everything's in limbo. We all know, and if you don't know, Experian, Equifax, they're being sued by the CFPB right now because they haven't been processing people's disputes. So how can you win against that? You're doing everything right to help your clients repair their credit, but the people that are supposed to be giving you the results to make that work aren't even processing what you're sending into them. It's actually a lose-lose right now. Now, there are some different methods and stuff that are working and that are getting people results, but and we'll get into that as far as credit sweeps and glitches and stuff, but that ain't sustainable. Those don't last long. So right now in 2025, I'm not saying I won't recommend you starting a credit repair company, but if you do, give the game away and show somebody how to do it themselves instead of being stuck with clients and not being able to get the results you want for them because of things you can't control.
I can dig it. So you touched on it, but let's go a little deeper if you can on what is the CFPB? Like, what does CFPB stand for and what is its purpose?
All right, so the CFPB is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Mm-hmm. And what they are is like, they're the government's watchdog when it comes to the credit bureaus, banks, lenders, the CFRA, like
financial institutions.
Yes, all financial institutions are governed by them. A big misconception people have is that they think that Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, just because they're credit bureaus, they let that word bureau scare them. Those three companies ain't got nothing to do with the government. They're LLC just like mine. All they do, their only job is to report accurate information. Now, the CFPB is who governs them. And they make sure that everything's running right. Now, if you're not getting the results you want when you're going through a credit repair process with the three major bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, or if you're hitting up, a lender or a bank or a financial institution trying to solve a dispute and you're not getting the results you want, you can skip all of it and go straight to the CFPB because they're here for the people. Mm-hmm. That's actually the most accurate way and the quickest way to get results today is by skipping all of it, going straight to the CFPB.
Wow. Okay. Y'all, hey, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna write that shit down, man. You know what I'm saying? And for, people that's experiencing the credit game know about it, but people who don't, he just gave y'all the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Don't get lost. All right, so the next thing is, what is a credit sweep? And why do people want it so much?
This one for the streets right here, man.
Okay.
So, look.
Feds did a sweep.
Look, man, a credit sweep is a complete, like, wash. Like, if you got anything negative on your credit, it ain't even got to be negative. If you want something taken off your credit, you can go the credit sweep route. Now, you got to find somebody who can do that now, because that ain't just, no game that you can get on the street. And they're going to wipe your credit clean, take off whatever you want. And the whole point of calling it a sweep is for how fast it works. Mm-hmm. A credit sweep usually works in around 7 to 14 days, sometimes under 7 days. People can get all their debt completely, cleaned out. And it usually happens from a glitch. We get a glitch in the credit game, I'd say probably once a year, maybe once every 2 years, but probably once a year we get a glitch in the credit game to where, a credit sweep is possible. Now, and I want y'all to all hear this too. When I'm talking like this don't necessarily mean that people are doing something wrong or, unethical, this or that. When it comes to these credit bureaus, like I said, their only job is to report accurate information. And if you can find something within that credit report that is inaccurate, you can get things wiped off. It don't mean that the account is gone. If I have a repo with Santander and I know somebody who got a credit sweep method where they can go and find a glitch that's gonna find inaccuracies in that account and get that off my credit report in 7 days, I'm gonna go do that with them. Now, that don't mean that they don't still exist with Santander. Santander can call me all day and be like, hey, you still owe this, which I do, but it's off my credit report. Mm-hmm. So that's, where I go the credit sweep route, is if it's available.
All right, I'm going to touch on this real quick for myself. And I'm going to look directly at the camera here so y'all can hear from me if I get over to the next question. I will bust a credit bureau or financial institution and I don't care if I find a loophole that is unethical. What I like to do is avoid things that are illegal.
There you go.
So
there you go.
If it's illegal, I'm going to stay away from it. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get in trouble. But if I can expose a loophole, I don't give a fuck if these financial institutions feel like what I did was unethical. I can go down a laundry list of bullshit that's unethical that the financial institution, the banks do to us.
Facts.
How much they're fucking scamming us and how much they screw us over. I mean, I'd be all day talking about what the banks do to us. I could be all day talking about what the credit bureaus do to us that's unethical. I could talk about our whole entire school system that has failed us on financial literacy that I can call unethical. Big time unethical. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they got their strategies and ways to fuck us over so they can win. So if I'm able to expose a loophole in the credit repair game or the funding game that they think is unethical, I don't give a fuck. Long as it's not illegal, that's not going to get me in trouble, get my people in trouble. That's what we're going to make sure we avoid. But this America, I try to bust their ass every chance I get.
And for what you're saying, and this is something that all y'all need to hear, it is extremely hard to even find a method that's illegal when it comes to credit repair. Like, there's probably one thing I can think of, and that's, falsifying police reports. Outside of that, it's nothing really illegal. It's just playing the game, like you say. And guess what? It's a dirty game, but it's fair. It's always fair. They do it to us, and we have the right to do it right back to them as long as it ain't illegal.
Yeah, man. That's why you said earlier the education part. Like, let us teach you the education. Let us teach you the laws. Let us teach you what's legal, what is illegal. Don't fucking do that. Mm-hmm. But this is a loophole you can expose to get things to happen faster. And then you decide what the hell you want to do. Thanks. And that's what we do over here at CJU is we like to give the information and let you guys decide. That's how we rocking over here. And that's just my 2 cents on what I think about a credit sweep and shit like that. Let's do what we got to do so we can win. Fuck them.
No bullshit.
Next question. If we're going to transition here from repair over to credit building.
Yeah.
If you was coaching an 18-year-old, how would you tell them to start building their credit the right way?
Oh man, that's a great question. That's a great question, especially with what social media is now today and the access they have to information. So if an 18-year-old right now was asking me what's their very first steps on building their credit, number one, I would tell them to go open up a checking and savings account with a bank that focus more on having a relationship with them than just banking with them. A good one, Navy Fed if they can get in. You know, they like to have a really good internal score with their clients. Or even Chase is a great one to get started with. Bank of America, these are all people that, you know, they love for clients to build relationships with them. Now, after they open their checking and savings, it's two things that they need to do. One, find you $500 from somewhere, ask your parents, hopefully they got it for you. But if you got to go and get your hustle and bustle on, go scrape that $500 up and go put that down on a secure credit card. That means that they cannot deny when you secure the funds in there, that's your money that you're playing with. You know, you put that $500 on that credit card and now you are going to go in and work that credit card and spend it as if, you know, it was just one they gave to you. You just secured it with your money. So one, go get you a secure credit card from the bank that you opened up the checking and savings with. And then number two, find somebody that can add you as an authorized user on a good account that they have. Hopefully you got parents. Hopefully you got an uncle, aunt, a grandparent somewhere that, you know, got a credit card that they have over 5 years on, you know, over $5,000 of credit available on there, and have them add that on there. And you let them two sit and marinate for at least the next 2-3 years.
Nice. Okay, so what are some starter cards you like? Like some starter personal cards. What's a little starter pack? Like the first 3 cards somebody can get if they're young, building their credit.
Man, first 3 cards, man. Like I said, especially for your 18-year-olds, if you got to start off with secure, first, do not go to these subprime, these credit builder accounts. Stay away from the Tomo Boost and the Credit Ones and Self and Credit Strong and all of that. No, you want an actual real revolving account that's with a major bank. So if y'all do got to go that secure route and they don't offer a secure card at the bank that you got your checking and savings with, go get Discover, go to Citi, go to Chase. Those are the 3 I recommend for a secure credit card. Now, if you pass that secure route and you in that realm of starter cards, I still recommend them. I still say go get a Discover It card. I still say go get a Chase Freedom Flex. Go get a Citi Simplicity card. You know what I'm saying? Those are my 3 banks as far as starters because they're going to let you get some skin in the game if you ain't got nothing negative on your credit report, and they going to definitely like make that building process easy for you down the road.
Gotcha. I'm going to put my 2 cents in on that too. Y'all, I'm a OG. You know what I'm saying? I've been building credit profiles since 2016, 2017. Yeah. So I'm not with the credit builder things. I'm not with the credit strong.
Yeah.
I'm not with kickoff.
All that
I'm
bullshit.
not with self-lender, Chime, Toma. I don't recommend you guys put those little credit builder things in your credit report. And the reason why I don't recommend y'all use those because they don't have a direct connection with a bank. They're their own LLC, they're their own company, and they just want you to pay them money. And then when you pay them money, they'll throw the little kickoff or credit strong or self-lender trade line on your credit report. So you're like, oh shit, I'm building trade lines. You know, I'm building trade lines, I'm building on my credit report. What you're really doing is helping that company make money. That's what you're really doing. Because if you want to get trade lines, if you can't get approved for an unsecured card out the gate, I would go with Will said, I would go with a secure credit card. And then some people going to be like, what the new credit people are teaching is, why get a secure credit card when you could just get these self-builder things? Well, if I get a secure credit card, that means I'm building a relationship with an actual bank. So if I get these credit builders and I let them sit for a few months, let's just say 4 to 6 months, and then the credit builders allow me to go get an unsecured credit card with Discover or Capital One or something like that. Cool. I got an unsecured credit card, but I started the credit builder. I would have rather you build the 4 to 6 months with a secured card with Capital One and Discover, and then just let them unlock the secured card into an unsecured. And then when they do that, if they don't send you your secured money back, what they end up doing is extending you more credit. So we got a client right now we working with. That's what I had him do. Get a secured card. He built it for a year. He only put $500 on each secured card. Within a year, the bank turned his cards from secured to unsecured, but they gave him a $2,000 limit on each card. You can't do that with self kickoff credit. They're not banking financial institutions. You don't want to really build with them. And then when you need some age on your credit report, you lost those 4 to 6 months you could have built with a bank because you was playing with those builder joints. And big banks, when we talk about big bread, business funding, and high limit funding, when they look at your credit report, they don't care about those little self-builder things. They care about actual credit cards that you paid on time. So again, I don't come from that route. I don't recommend them. I think for me, Capital One, they some cheap motherfuckers, but they'll get you in the game. Discover, get you in the game. You could just never lose with those two. Discover and
Easy money.
excuse me. Discover and Capital One, they're the easy ones.
Yeah.
So Will, how should someone build a relationship with American Express?
Man, good old Amex. All right, so Amex will rock with you, bro, if you got a 680 and up. Now, if you got that 680, but you know your profile's still thin, I definitely recommend, starting with their starter cards like the Everyday Blue, you know what I'm saying? Or even just the Everyday Blue Preferred. That's cool. Just get in. Now, Amex they most likely gonna hit you with a low limit on that first card if you got over that 680, but that credit ain't popping. But you just want to get in. Mm-hmm. You just want to get in. Once you in good with Amex, make sure you not only using that card a lot, but paying it right down. I'd recommend maxing that motherfucker out. Max it out and pay it down. Okay. Amex about that money. Okay. If they see that you spending that money with them, next thing you know, you're just going to start seeing in your email those pre-approved offers. Now I'm going to give y'all a little game on this. A little game on the personal side with Amex. And this for the heavy hitters who ain't in there yet. You really got that credit popping in them 700s. If you start with a charge card, they not going to hit you with an inquiry for any more of the personal cards you get after that if you get approved. And the charge cards, if y'all don't know, those are cards that don't start with a preset limit. And then they'll just base your limit off of, how you use that card and pay it off after like that first or second month. But that's the platinum, gold, and the green on the personal side.
All right, tell them what happened if they fuck up with Amex.
Hey, man, lifetime ban. Amex don't fucking play, bro. If you default on the Amex card, you're done. You're out. They're not letting you back in. If you don't use your Amex card, that limit is getting slashed. It's getting slashed. And how I say with the charge cards, if you're using it and you don't pay off 80% of it, they gonna give you a hella low limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you use $8,000 on that card that first month, that gold card, and you only pay $1,000 of it. Guess what? As soon as they get their money, because you're not gonna be able to use the $8,000, and they're gonna make you pay it down. As soon as they get their money, they're literally gonna text you and email you and say, "Hey, you have a limit of $2,500." So look, with Amex, biggest takeaway, because it's great to be in the Amex family, but once you get in, pay what you owe. Pay what you owe.
How should someone build a relationship with Navy Fed?
Man, Navy Fed, perfect. Now, guys, of course, Navy's a credit union. It's a military bank. So, I ain't going to get into it, but for the most part, y'all should know that, you have to get an access code from someone who's already in Navy Federal to join. Now, once you get into Navy Federal, They are what we call a relationship-based bank. They go off of what's called the internal score more than they care about your credit score. So what you need to do is get multiple products with them. Don't just get a checking account, get a checking and saving. That's 2 products right there. After that, if you can get a credit card from them, wait 90 days. If you got a good credit score, they'll throw you that $25K if you're running some money through their checking account. If the credit's not there, get a secure card with Navy. Go ahead and put $500 down, get a secure card, and also get a pledge loan. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 products right there with them. You let that rock for about 4 to 6 months. Next thing you know, they're going to unsecure that card, and they're just going to start throwing the money at you. They're going to start throwing the money at you. With Navy Federal, as long as the more products you have and the more that you rock with them, credit cards, pledge loans, checking accounts, saving accounts, you let some time go by seasoning all of those products, Navy, and everybody knows this, they're known to throw you $20K or more when you go and apply for a credit card now or go for a personal loan.
Yeah. So just don't rush to play.
Yeah.
Don't rush to play with Navy. Take your time, build with them. They'll get you the bag.
Easy.
Everybody want to run in Navy so fast and just tear it up. Take your time, man.
And miss out on tens of thousands
Navy
of dollars
to give you the bread,
not
bro.
waiting a few months.
Just take it easy. Mm-hmm. All right, next one. How should someone build a relationship with Chase?
I think Chase is actually a pretty easy one. Once again, it all starts with the checking and savings. You know what I'm saying? Get both of those with Chase. And those are different from, Navy and Chase are different from American Express because, of course, you know, American Express doesn't just have branches and you just can't, you know, get those checking and savings accounts with them like that. So with Chase, start with the checkings account, definitely get a savings account, and the same thing applies with them. Now, they're not as generous as Navy, but Chase will rock with you if you're building that internal score with them. They'll work with you. With them, it's a little different from Navy to where all you got to do is go in the branch. If your credit popping, they're giving you what you want. But even if it's not, you go in the branch and they see that you're what they call a value customer, you get a good banker, they're gonna work some stuff out with you.
For sure. Let's transition to business credit and funding.
Yeah.
What are the main requirements for getting business funding?
Oh, man. This what everybody need to hear. It's a lot of bullshit and fluff on all social media right now where you'll see these ads or you'll see content where guys are just saying, you know, if you got a 700 plus credit score and you have a business, tap in with me. I can get you $100K in business credit. Stop the cap. I'm calling the cap, bro. Great marketing. And I don't even mean to shit on y'all. That's great marketing. You know, I ain't trying to stop y'all client flow. But for y'all out there who are really trying to, you know, learn the business funding side of things and get some real knowledge, I'm going to break it down to you. Funding requirements. Yes, you need to have over a 700 credit score. But it just starts there. That just gets you to the door. Now to get in the door, and you want what we call max funding, how they be marketing 100K and stuff, we need to see at least 3 revolving accounts on your credit report. When we say revolving, that's things like credit cards, things that you can pay off and use again. At least 3 of those, at least 2 years on one of them, and also at least a limit of $5,000 on one of those revolving accounts. So to recap that, 700 credit score, at least 3 revolving accounts, an account with at least 2 years on it as far as age, and then an account with at least $5,000 on it. Now, with that being said, the flip side of that, of course, no negative remarks on your credit report, but when it comes to your business, you want to have an LLC of at least 2 years. Now, if you got all of that, and then one thing I did leave out was low usage. We like usage to be under 15%. Us big steppers, we stay under 10%. And if you got all of that, now you can get what we call max funding, that 50 to 100K plus in funding. Now, don't let that discourage you, though, because that's not a necessity. You can have a 700 credit score and only have 2 or 3 accounts and maybe 1 year of age, you know, cards under 5,000, maybe 3K on the card, 1,500 or something like that. Your business has only been open for 3 months. You know, that's all cool. And you'll still get funding, but you're not getting that 100K because the bank is going to look at your profile and say to themselves, you haven't showed us any financial maturity for us to give you $100,000. Is that making sense for the requirements? Rock with me.
What are some of your favorite banks for business funding?
Man, some of my favorite banks for business funding. So I got different categories when it comes to my favorite for funding. I'm going to say this off back. My favorite bank for funding is definitely American Express. Definitely.
For the business funding?
For business funding. It's definitely American Express. And it's because they got what we call, the 5-for-1 rule. Now, what the 5-for-1 rule is, just like I told y'all with the personal credit with Amex, how, you get in with a charge card, you only get one inquiry, and you can just apply for more cards without any increase. On the business side, if you have a personal relationship with them first, which is you just have any personal credit card, if you have that first, they will not hit you with an inquiry when you go apply for business credit.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have a personal relationship with them, they're going to hit you for an inquiry for every card you apply for. So get in on the personal side first. And then you don't have to deal with inquiries when you apply on the business side. Now, what I like about Amex is if you go and get that personal card and you already got a business, they'll let you apply for business credit that same day. Literally right after you get that personal card. And what they'll do is let you have up to 5 cards under your social.
Wow.
So, and you can get, 2 to 3 every 90 days. So you get a personal card first, right? Same day. You can go get another business card, right? That's 2. Now, if you go and apply for a charge card, you can get you a third one same day. You can get 3 all in one day.
Wow.
Now with that 5, last thing with that 5-to-1 rule, you can have up to 5 cards under your social. I say 1 personal, 4 business, but they don't include charge cards to that. So with Amex, you really can have, I think they got around 8, 9, 10 total on the business side. You can probably have around 8 to 9 business credit cards with just them. You can't do that with any other bank. So they're definitely my favorite when it comes to funding.
Let me ask you something. This not on here. Before I get to my next question, are you willing to drop something like a product with all that Amex sauce packaged up in detail to give to the people?
I already got it.
You already got that, man?
I already got it. You can put it in the description.
So you got what you got? What is it? It's called an Amex play or what?
It's called the Amex 5-versus-1 rule.
Word, and you got detail.
Is top to bottom. I give you details on everything I just said. I break it down in layman terms so a third grader can understand it. And then I show you step by step how to do it. And I also have like a live testimony of me doing it with a client.
Wow.
Of them really getting approved for, a personal card and then backdoor and getting the 3 business cards all in one day.
Damn.
Like walking out with over 20K in one day.
You know what I mean? So we're going to have that down in the description.
Yes, sir.
Where y'all can get access to that Amex pack. That sounds something serious. I know a lot of y'all know about the Chase funding stuff that everybody talking about, but we got some extra stuff for that too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so next question. Walk us through your process when someone wants to do a funding run with you. What does that look like from start to finish?
Hey, man, shout out to CJU Systems, first of all, because we dominate the game as far as funding when it comes to systems and automations, man. We make it so simple for people to go through our funding process that, the word of mouth is so crazy. After one person goes through it, they just have to tell other people. So if someone wants to do funding with me, first thing they need to do is go to cjufunding.com. And there we show them how to download their Experian credit report and upload it so we can read their entire profile and do a thorough funding analysis for them. And that funding analysis, we're going to look at their Experian and tell them exactly what's on there so they can know what range of funding they're in as far as qualifications. If they don't qualify, we're going to tell them exactly what to do, too, to go through our credit repair program so they can get in position for funding. So cjufunding.com, We show you start to finish how to upload your credit report to our site. And then as soon as you upload it, you're going to get a text and email letting you know, hey, give us around 24 hours to give you a proper funding analysis. And we're going to send you a video recording back to you, letting you know, hey, bang, 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 this is what you got going on. You qualify. And once you qualify, you'll get a link to set up a call with us to go through our entire funding process, breaking down, each credit bureau, like the banks that pull from them, and how to apply with them. That's one thing that separates us from a lot of people. I mean, if you want us to just do everything for you, 100% we can. You can be completely hands off. But at CJU, we want you to walk away knowing the application sequence and data points of banks, so you don't have to go back to no one else when you want to do funding again. You'll learn how to do it yourself.
Wow.
And this process literally is a 24 to 72 hour process. This all can be done within 3 days. You up 100 bands.
For the people that want to tap in with the funding run with you, that's like a little nervous about like getting hit with inquiries and not sure for shit. Do you got a pre-approval sequence for them?
Yeah, of course.
Tell them a little bit about how pre-approval game works.
Oh yeah, now that's some sauce right there. I'm glad you brought that up. So I spent a lot of time putting together a full list. I call it the master pre-approval list of not only banks, but credit unions, fintech banks, even personal loans, business loans, anything out there that'll give you a pre-qualification or pre-approval. I have a link for it. And I'll also show you what bureau it pulls from. So, before you even run up some inquiries, you already know, like, okay, this one I'm about to get right here. So that inquiry right there that I'm about to get was just worth $10,000. You damn right I'm going to get that inquiry. Now, the flip side of that, for y'all out there, we also got our 24-hour inquiry removal guide that I'll give you as a gift as well. Why not throw it in? Why not throw it in there? We full of gifts today. To where when you get those inquiries, man, I'm going to show you how to get those removed, or any inquiry you got on your credit report. I'm going to show you how to get those removed within 24 hours, too, to keep your profile clean.
Yeah. So I'm going to drop this out here for y'all, too, like, to piggyback on what Will was saying. Here at CJU, when it come to funding, that's not our main business.
Right.
That's a part of our business. We are high-performance, high-ticket sales coaches. Like, we really are helping people build businesses and build brands and go make millions of dollars. Like, that's what we are focused on. And the way we help people do that is getting them access to capital. So our main bread and butter is not a funding company. That's just something we know how to do. So because we've transitioned to stuff that's bigger and better than the credit game, for the longevity of people, we want to give y'all that game. Yeah. So like Will said, when you tap in with him and he put you through the funding run, Will is not going to gatekeep how he applied for you, meaning he's not going to take your information and apply for you on their own and you don't know what's going on. Again, if you're too busy, of course he'll just do it for you, but we prefer to show you what bank we went to. We prefer to show you why we went to that bank and what bureau it pulled from and was it a pre-approval before you applied, and then document all that for you, record it all for you, and give it to you, man. So therefore, you can take that information and give it to your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, the kids. You could be like, man, I paid this bread to work with these guys, but now I'm able to like spread that information out to my people myself because them guys gave it to me.
Resell it if you want to.
Yeah, you can resell it for you if you want to, of course, because it's not us versus you. It's us versus the system.
Thanks.
Okay, the system failed us. You know what I'm saying? And the banks, they doing some shady stuff. The credit bureau doing shady stuff. We know what they're doing to where they screwing us over. So we want to do everything we can to help you go get that paper out of them. Us helping you go get money from the banks ain't hurting our pockets.
At all.
We want you to go get as much as you can. And so we don't want to gatekeep that funding information. We want y'all to have that. So if y'all do funding with us, we don't just get you the funding. We give you the game and information that you get to keep forever. That's the most important thing. You can get the credit, you can get the money. But once you know the information, you get to keep that forever. And that's priceless. Like, we want to get that to y'all, let y'all have that.
Thanks.
So Good sauce. All right. We almost wrapped up here, man. Just a few more questions here. Once your client get business funded, what do you recommend they do next?
Man, once they get business funding, the very first thing I recommend them do is kind of what you just said. Go invest in a high performance coach, aka us, CJU. Now, whether it's us or not, I'm telling y'all, that's the first thing you need to do is make that investment into some coaching from someone that got the results that you're looking for, so you can skip all the trial and error that, is coming with entrepreneurship. It's coming, especially if you're doing it on your own. Especially if you're doing it on your own. The last thing I want you to do is waste all of that funding capital that you worked hard with your personal credit to get, because you got it and then you just try shit out there on your own. No, go invest into high performance coaching so you can skip the line in this entrepreneurship shit and get straight to the results. Every single person that didn't do that will tell you that they wish they did.
Yep.
That's
biggest mistake I made in my entrepreneurship journey was not investing in coaches sooner.
Yeah.
I'm from the streets. I'm from the hood. I got my first few dollars. I'm like, I ain't paying this motherfucker $5K. I'm not paying that motherfucker $10K. They must be out their mind asking for 20 grand.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I look like paying somebody that amount of money. You crazy? But I would spend that amount of money on stupid stuff that don't bring me no money. You know what I'm saying? If you add up the years of going to the bars, drinking, stupid clothes, all type of stuff, I'm well over.
And bro,
crazy amounts of money,
In the business world, anything that's not, an asset or profit is a liability. Don't go spend it on liabilities.
It's credit. Like, when you get them credit cards, you not rich. You ain't got no income coming in. Like, I got 50,000, I got 60,000, I got 100,000, I'm up. Hold on. You got some capital.
Right.
To make some investments with. And you can go off and make the investments on your own if you want to, okay? We just prefer that you invest in a coach, a mentor. We call ourselves the high performance coach because we want to help you perform at the highest level. But if what we offer in our high ticket coaching programs isn't what you're looking for, then if you want to go do real estate, I don't do coach real estate. I don't teach real estate. But if you just need to get funded from us to go do real estate, I'm gonna recommend go invest into a real estate coach or go invest into whatever business you want to do. A coach or a mentor. Don't just get them credit cards and get out here and start winging it. I agree with that, Will. Get somebody to teach you. All right. That was going into my next question. Was how it's important to invest into a business coach for someone leveling it up. You can just finish that up. Like, how important is it?
Is it to invest into it? Well, it's like I said earlier, like, you cut out the whole trial and error thing. You're gonna go invest into somebody that already took the L's for you. Mm-hmm. They know exactly what not to do. You talk about this a lot. A lot of people they always just talk about their wins and they don't like to talk about their losses. Mm-hmm. No, the losses is what create the wins a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? So when you invest in that high performance coach, they're going to show you everything that you don't need to do, the mistakes that you don't need to make. And like I say, you skip the line of results, you save years of trial and error and possible, like, real failure, because let's cut the shit. Some people make decisions in business that they never come back from.
Facts.
And when you got that high performance coach, they save you from all of that.
Facts. I agree with that. I say that a lot. A lot of people be like, CJ, I want to learn from you. I want to be like you, and I want to do what you're doing, and this, and that. I'd be like, absolutely, because I'm winning now.
Yeah.
But the best thing I can really coach you on, man, out the gate is what to avoid, the roadblocks you about to run into, that I ran into, and just teach you, like you said, bro, avoid the mistakes. That's where you really get your bread at.
Yeah.
Somebody to make sure you don't fumble and fall.
That's some of the most satisfying feedback I get from a lot of our clients is that they say, like, damn, man, like, I love that you're transparent with me, that you tell me about your losses. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Dan and Harris. He tapped in for the funding game, and he said that over and over, like, hey, Will, one thing I appreciate about you is when I ask you a question, you'd be like, oh, hell no, don't do that. And then you say, because I did that. And I'm going to tell you how I fucked up when I did it.
For real.
I'm going to tell you how I got kicked out this bank. I'm going to tell you how, this account got closed. I'm going to tell you, I say my failures. And they be like, hey, I really respect it.
We not trying to claim we perfect here. Ain't nobody perfect, man. And if anybody claiming that they an entrepreneur or business coach or whatever, and they ain't never made a mistake and they never had no failure, stay away from them.
Facts.
You want to go work with somebody that's real, that's authentic, that's transparent, and that's what I am over here. Like, hey, I fucked up right there. I messed up right there. I screwed up right here. Yep. I'll tell you what it is, because we don't have no shame and embarrassment talking about our failures because we already fixed it. So
exactly.
If anybody want to use that against us and make fun of us for us sharing our mistakes, we can be like, I mean, if you want to keep talking about that all you want to, but we've already solved the solution, So yeah, we try to keep it as authentic and real as possible over here. We love to share that with y'all. If y'all want to have any questions, you can put it in the comments and just ask some questions about how we fucked up. We'll tell you.
tell it all.
We'll tell you like a mug. All right, I got last two for you. How important is it to invest in systems, operation, and automations for long-term success?
Woo! I'll tell you right now, because once again, we've been through it. That was something that we failed at in the beginning that we fixed. If you don't invest into systems, operations, and automations, I guarantee you'll spend way too much time working in your business and not on your business. And once you do that, you completely rule out scalability. That is where, people get stuck or people plateau. It's because they popping, but they don't have a system. They don't have an onboarding system. They don't know how to take in clients properly. They don't have systems and automations to streamline their operations to where they're not manually doing everything. They don't have a proper follow-up system, so they lose clients. And they just got to rely on getting more and more and more. Like, they don't have any of the system operations or automations going. So, you can be doing good in entrepreneurship and have your lead flow coming in, but you'll never scale. So it's the only thing. I ain't going to say the only thing, but one of the most important things when it comes to hitting that next level. And it never stops either. Once you hit that next level, because your systems, automations, and operations got you there, you got to refine them again to hit that next level and keep refining them.
Absolutely, because one thing that sucks as an entrepreneur when you're making money, but you burnt out.
Oh, man.
You're making money or you're breaking even, but you're just burning out and you're just kind of looking at your business and your brand and you're like, I'm not sure how long I'm going to hang on, man. Even though I'm making money, but the burnout is really crushing me, and I feel like I built a business that I don't like anymore. What? And it's starting to feel like the 9-to-5 that I left from, and I don't even like my own clients anymore, and I don't even like my own offer anymore. And you start to resent the thing that you built, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't have the proper systems and operation automations in your business, it can cause a lot of problems down the line that you don't even see now. Right. A lot of times you jump in this entrepreneurship, you're so happy and excited, and you just want to be as raw as possible because you're just thinking about the dollar signs. I want you forward and long-term thinkers to really pack up what me and Will saying here as we close this up of like, do I want to just be the hustle entrepreneur that's just hitting licks? Or do I want to be a serious, high-performing business owner that got a real CRM, a software system that's automated, that's flowing smooth, that's organized and very detailed to where I can delegate to other people when I'm ready to hire and everything is just running smooth. And like Will said, I can work on my business instead of in my business and I don't burn out and I create a business that creates the income that I'm looking for that's giving me that financial freedom, but it's also allowing me to actually have freedom, which is time freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I told you, hey man, I can help you make, $200,000 in a month, but you gotta work 17 hours a day, 7 days a week and you never get to see your family and friends for a large amount of time, some of you guys not willing to make that bet. You know what I'm saying? And right now, you don't have to make that bet. Old school entrepreneurs, old school, you know what I'm saying, people in the game, they had to make those sacrifices. Blood, sweat, and tears, 16 hours to get their entrepreneurship shit up and running. Hey, we got AI.
Come on, man.
We got software. We got automation. So we don't have to use that. I'm at work 15, 16, 14 hours, 7 days a week, and I'm going to grind nonstop and not have any dinners or not have any fun and not do anything until hey, you ain't got to go that hard now. We got things we can implement to allow you to make money and still enjoy your life. And that's the ultimate goal, to be able to have the financial freedom, but also the time freedom. All right, we want to make sure you're making money, but you also got your time to enjoy your life and enjoy your family and friends. Like that's the end goal that we had, and we just want to help you start like that. Thanks. So Will, I got this last question to wrap up here. You dropped a whole lot of sauce. I hope ain't nobody get lost, man. There's some good game here.
Come on with it.
So we're gonna talk about the brand here to wrap it up. So how has it been working with CJ and CJU? How has it impacted your entrepreneurship journey? And then, you can just talk about any more successful failures that you have that built you, and then what makes you qualified to teach and coach now. So, just talk about working with CJ, working with CJU, all the things you've been through, and now it makes you qualified to lead and coach. Like, how did that journey play out?
Man. Oh, man.
From being behind the scenes, you've seen everything.
Oh, man, I saw it all. And, over at CJU and with CJ, it's raw. It's raw. That's one thing that you better understand. Like, CJ flowing straight from the survival scrolls. You know what I'm saying? And he's a decision maker. Motherfucker gonna make a decision, stick with it, and figure it out later. He has that mindset of like, make the decision now, because first of all, it could be the right decision and you on top of it. Second, if it's not the right decision, at least you found out quicker. So that was something right there that like completely shift my entrepreneurship journey as far as, implementing that into the way I viewed entrepreneurship, learning that from him, because that is not how I roll. I am an analytical person. I do like to analyze things and map things out, which is great. But, adding that CJU style of business, is what gave me a balance to really maximize, my potential in CJU. And, I was there from the beginning, so I did see and experience. I saw the failures that he experienced, and I was able to, learn from those and not repeat them. And then I also went through some with him that we both, learned and implemented, the problem solving mechanism and whatever, from it. But as far as CJU goes, man, it's a results driven culture, and that keeps you going. Everybody's not like that. Everybody's not a results driven culture. Like, it don't matter if, the outcome was, a hard road, as long as you got there and you just learn from it. And I love that it ain't for the weak-hearted, because it ain't over here. We want to be the best at CJU, and everybody can't be the best. So I love that, that you have instilled that, A players only mentality over here. That's what I take from it, and that's what I run with. A players only, winners only, results only.
Yep, man. So I'm glad for those words, and just to wrap it up, that's what we're looking for at CJU, man. We want winners, we want high achievers, and we want to help you guys become high earners. And my entrepreneurship journey started, by myself with no team, no nothing, and just as an individual. So my back was just against the wall. I had no money. I had no nothing. I had no help. I had no resources. So I came from make the decision now because you ain't got time to be analytical.
Right.
You don't have time to analyze it. There actually isn't any time. And so that's how I started. And that's still in me today from my early days. And that's why you guys want to have 8 players on your team, like which Will is on my team, because you don't need 2 people doing the same exact thing. I am more of a risk taker. I am the visionary of the company and brand. I am going to make, quick, swift decisions, and some going to hit and some going to miss. But then you also want somebody right next to you while you're making these wild-ass decisions to be more level-headed, to be able to be step back a little bit and analyze and organize and be like, okay, I see what Chris trying to do, and I see where he failed at. I can come in and fix that. And if I can come fix that, that'll allow Chris to go spend time going over to the next decision. And when you got that 1-2 punch, like me and Will got going on at CJU, and you can implement that in your business and your brand with a system that we'll give to you, and then we'll help you get some A players and get some high performance people on your team. You know what I'm saying? We feel like the sky's the limit. And that's what we doing over here at CJU, man. We trying to really help y'all turn up, hit those next levels in life. Any last words you want to get to people before we sign off? Some overall game that you want them to take from this interview with you.
Yeah. So, hey man, we still at the beginning of 2025. Like, cut the shit this year, man. Get to it. Find out, what's your end goal, and focus on that only. Focus on that only. That 2020 COVIDpreneur, all that bullshit is over with, man. That shit is over with. It's time to really lock in and execute. Like, I don't want to be around everybody says I don't want to be around nobody who ain't taking risk and taking action. I don't want to catch what they got. Like, 2025 is the year to get live. So let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Y'all heard it from your boy Will Taylor, a.k.a. you can thank him later.
Yeah.
And y'all already know me, your boy Mr. CJU, the sauce boss here to drop sauce and make sure you don't get lost. And we'll see y'all next time, man. Y'all already know how we sign off. Hap Hap.